I think I'm feeling lonesome, so I want some company. I want you guys, I want you to join me as I spend my evening prepping tomorrow for my party. I have a party at my house that I started this year called Fridays at Maggie's. And tomorrow is the day. I was doing it once a month, but then it became a lot because I do the cooking. So now it's every other month. And tomorrow is the 29th. So we're gonna have our Fridays at Maggie. I think I have 13 RSVPs, but sometimes we get a couple of stragglers, so we'll see. Which is a lower number than I've had in the past, so that's a good thing, right? And I'm kind of like my mom. I would never not feed someone. I love to feed people. So today's Thursday. I got up today. I got up a little bit late. I got up at 9:30, which is almost 9:30, which is unusual for me. But I have been going to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning for the last couple of nights. So usually it's like I need to make up. So that was good. Went to the to the meat market, got the chicken. So my menu for tomorrow, we're doing jerk chicken. So I'm going to be making my jerk seasoning so you could see how I make it. So we're going to clean the chicken, give it like a really basic seasoning with not a lot, just put like a little bit of olive oil, and I'm not even going to do salt or anything. Try to keep everything safe. So jerk chicken. And then for the people who may not be okay with hot and spicy, I'm gonna do just one roast so that if I have anything left, I'll have enough to make like a chicken soup or a sancocho. I am making mashed potatoes, and I got some nice potatoes today. And in the roast chicken, I'm also gonna cut some tomatoes so they can cook with the juice, and it's usually yummy. I am making rice with black beans with coconut milk. That's usually a good Caribbean dish. I went and got some black beans. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wash. This is my prep day, okay? I'm gonna wash and soak it overnight, because when you soak it overnight, it makes the peas plump. Although black beans are tough, they're gonna take a good 2 hours to cook. I don't know why, because the other beans don't. So let's start with that. Well, no, we'll do it later. And mashed potatoes, the rice, and then I'm making a big pot of cabbage, carrots, peppers, anything I have in the fridge, I'm gonna throw in there. I have a head of broccoli, I have some zucchini, and I made some fresh marinara yesterday. So my marinara with the white wine, good stuff, good stuff. So I have started I'm still working on the cookbook. I have started to put marinara in my soups, like the minestrone with marinara and I put marinara in my ratatouille. So I'm thinking adding a little bit of marinara in my cabbage, in my, so that's gonna be good, right? And I did get some chives for the mashed potato. The mashed potatoes I cannot prep because that's gonna be the last thing. The party's at 4, so I think at 3 o'clock I kind of time myself. I'm gonna cook the potatoes so that, because I want it to be nice and warm when they get here. So I mash the potatoes, and then it's just salt, pepper, but some cream, some heavy cream. I found a French brand, and I'm kind of partial to anything French. And then butter, my butter from New Zealand, and then the chives, and then that's it. And that's usually a winner. Very simple. And of course, I can't ever cook something like that for myself because, the potatoes, there's the carb, and then the butter and stuff. So I'm not going to be able to do that. Oh, okay. I just want to taste. Let me show you the, cream is very expensive here. Just like heavy cream is expensive, just like cheese. Yeah, that's why I don't make mac and cheese and stuff like that, because if I'm cooking for a crowd, that's just going to be way too much money. So you have to kind of think when you are cooking or you're having a party, because you don't want I just want to taste the cream to see how good it is. Oh, I can't get anything to go in there. Woo. It's not so thick. Ooh, yes. Harlem minded. Wow. My brother lives in Harlem in New York. How are you? Marsha, how are you? Hola. Very good. All right. So you always want to have some heavy cream, and this is a nice brand. So if you live here in the city and you go to Reba Smith, La Crème, La Crème. You know, I have been seeing a bunch of French ads, for the sandwiches and the patisserie. And I'm like, I think it's calling my name. So maybe next year, I've been wanting to take my daughter back. And we haven't traveled since together. Because when I closed my restaurant, my agency, my business, I traveled for a couple of years. And I took my daughter with me on a lot of those trips. We were in England for 3 weeks. And I was in class. Hi. From the Dominican. Marsha, you know the doctor. Are you Marsha? I can't remember your name. Is it Marsha? I think it might be. Oh, no. Okay. There was a doctor that I was in contact with for a while there. And she's in the DR as well. But anyway, so, and then I got some plantains, and I got them out here. Look at these beauties. But they're still a little bit hard, so I'm hoping that they'll be, so I'm gonna slice them and just cook them on the stove. That's gonna be a side. And I told you about the veggies. And then for drinks, we got all kinds of things. And usually the way I do it, I do a list, and then people just sign up and say, I'll bring this, I'll bring that. So we got lots of wine. One lady, one sister, she knows I love Riesling. She always says, I'm gonna bring you a Riesling. And a Vino Tinto. Vino Tinto, that's how we call red wine. Some people like red, I'm a white. I like red wine. I find like it's too much tanner. It's just kind of like Merlot. Oof, I can't do it. But I like white wine, but I don't like rosé, and sweet wine. That's why I love Riesling. Yeah, I love Riesling. Riesling is not so sweet, don't you agree? So, and then I'm gonna make pickles. Okay, so I got 2 cabbages for my dish. And then I bought 1, and I'm going to make pickles. And I'm going to show you how to make pickles. Pickles is pickled cabbage, carrots. People put like pepper and stuff. I don't. Onions, no garlic. It's just white vinegar, salt, pepper, and that's it. And of course, I see a lot of people cut up their little pack of Maggie, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm like, no, Maggie is like, it's my namesake, but I don't like to use it. It's like, no, we're not doing that. Because that's MSG. I don't put that kind of stuff in my body, not anymore. All right, so let's just rinse the black beans. And I gave the group, I have a specific Saint Michel is the best. Oh, the Riesling. Oh, that's good to know. You know, I had a time finding Riesling here, and then we found it. There is a wine place called Felipe Mota here in Panama. In fact, this guy, they say, owns Banco General, and then they have all these places, Felipe Mota, around the country. I think I read somewhere that he is Panama's only billionaire with a B. Yep, we got a billionaire. Woo-wee. All right, so I believe that's enough black beans. And we're gonna wash it. And then I usually set it up with bay leaves, garlic, and if I have any veggies, you know, that are just sitting there, I throw it in there because I'm building flavor. Remember, you start early on thinking about flavor. So every time I open one of these bags, I put them in the door of the fridge. So we're gonna do that, rinse it, put the water in, and then let it soak overnight. Okay? So in the morning, I will start boiling these beans around noon, because sometimes it's so hard, I kind of worry. I'm like, oh my God, is it gonna be cooked in time? Because I don't have a pressure cooker. Like I said, it's another piece of, you know, something to find space for. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. All right, so what do we have in here that we could put in to cook with the, oh, I got green onions. And I have stems from spinach, so I'm gonna throw some of that in there so that when it cooks, it gets the flavor from that, because that's what I use when I'm making stock, right? And every time you're thinking about this, just think you are building flavor. Oh, yeah, gonna take my stuff off. I don't need to be cooking with jewelry. You know, another pet peeve that I have when I see these people on these shows and the hair, it's like a fashion show. I'm like, where did you learn to cook? Why are you putting your hair in somebody's food? I had to call a chef out one time. I'm like, chef, what's with the hair? You know, when you go to school, you know, everything is underneath. You know, you got to put hair in a bun, you know, just like nurses, you know, with fancy. I see these doctors the other day. This lady is like a cardiologist, and she got these fake pointy nails, you know, the new one. I'm like, come on, doc. When did we lose all that? We don't need all that stuff. It's not a fashion show when you're taking care of people. Come on. So I have the same thing when I see people cooking, and then they're like throwing the hair, you know, it's like, ooh, ooh, that's unclean. No bueno. And that usually tells me that somebody was not trained correctly. And a lot of people call themselves chef. They haven't been to school. You don't have to have gone to school to be a chef. You can be a great cook, yeah. But there are certain principles that when I was in school, every day I went, we had to be inspected before we got into the kitchen. Your hair had to be, your nails, you know, no nail polish and stuff. And then you had to wear your cravat. The cravat was the thing you put around your neck to grab the sweat. So when I see people going and they're like going on a fashion show, I'm like, all right, Yeah. Okay. I have some withered looking cilantro. I'm going to put some of that in there. Cilantro does not last here, let me tell you. You buy it, make sure you're going to use it in the next couple of days, because otherwise it go woo. And then, I mean, you can cook with it, but if you're looking to use it for like a garnish, you're out of luck. Not going to work. All right, so much garlic. I always have garlic. And I went to buy rice, and then here in Panama, el arroz, let me tell you, that's the main ingredient in the diet, which is kind of crazy. It says Don Olga, this is the first time I've seen this brand, Molino San Pablo, Ciudad en Cadagrano. Molino San Pablo. It's not it's not Panamanian. Oh, it's like Panama. Okay. All right. So I try not to leave too much rice in the house because I don't want to be tempted to eat it. So we're going to put some bay leaves. I need to get a fan over here because I'm getting warm. And some rough crushed garlic. And I went and bought some dark soy sauce because we're gonna need all that when we make the jerk marinade. But of course, you've heard me say that the best jerk is the jerk they make in Jamaica on the fire, because they use a special, I mean, I don't know if it really does, but I saw this guy use a special kind of wood. You know, it's like you're making barbecue. A lot of it has to do with the wood chip, right, for the flavor. And that's what the guy said. He said, you have to have that to make the best jerk, and I believe him. I haven't been to, so we're gonna crush him like that. I haven't been to Jamaica, believe it or not. But the sister said she might take me this year, so that would be lovely. And of course, whenever I go to a country, I go for the food, seriously. As much as I go for the history, the people, and food, has a lot to do with the history of a people, right? Okay, so we're gonna leave that there. We're gonna cover, and that's gonna stay on the stove overnight. I don't have room right now, so we're gonna put it here. And I'm just gonna move a fan. I'll be back. I cannot be hot. Now, if I have time, I will go ahead and prepare my my cabbage. If I have time, I will. Oh, it's gonna be so fun. All right. So right now, what I want to do is get the chicken out. Ooh. Okay. So. There we go. All right. And I got my charger on my phone too, so it's like a balancing act. Okay, so this is one chicken. When I say picado, picado in Spanish means cut. So I go to the same young man. He's very, very nice. I always give him a tip. I know some people say don't do that, but I do. And you know about what happened to me with the fish market. I'm still sore about that. But all right, so I'm thinking of where I'm gonna put the chicken, and then I have a roast, right? So this is the one we're gonna roast whole. So I'm gonna put the roast here. Leave it in the fridge for now, because remember, with chicken, temperature is key. Key. Woo. Remember last week I bought all these limes, so now I'm gonna put them to work. And I had bought a bunch of Scotch bonnet peppers. I eat chumbo. Are you vegan? No, I'm not vegan. I am whole food plant-based most of the time. I don't eat meat, but I am cooking. I have a, I don't eat meat all the time. I don't want to say, oh, that's why I say I'm not vegan, because I don't understand the, feeling about meat. I don't eat meat because, I really don't know why right now, because look at this, how beautiful they are. Now the meat here is a lot cleaner. So I started eating chicken once in a while when I got to Panama. When I was in South Africa, I had chicken and I was kind of sick when I tried it, because I was whole food plant-based, but I'm not vegan, right? So I eat butter once in a while. I eat eggs once in a while. So I guess that definitely disqualifies me for being vegan. All right, so the gentleman, he cut up the chicken for me. So of course we are going to put everything in, because this is gonna be curry, not curry. It's gonna be jerk chicken. So I want to clean it up, take a lot of that, loose skin. I wanted to cut it, but I think I won't. But this one here, I will cut. This is the pechuga, the chest. Okay? Because, when you're cooking chicken, the skin has a lot of flavor in it. So please don't get all catching your pearl if you see chicken skin. This is for my guests. Remember, I'm not cooking for myself. It's like when you're buying a gift for someone, you got to think of the person receiving the gift and not just what you want, which I find myself doing a lot. I give people things that I like. Okay. So you see how I cut the chest to manageable pieces. Yes. He did a good job. He's so nice. He's a young man, and I like him a lot. There was a little lady, when you go to the market, they have different stalls, so you have a choice. When you got there and you're looking at the different stalls, when I first got to Panama, this lady was the very first person that I saw. Her stall was like by the front door. And I think I pointed, I was looking, I don't know what I was looking for. Maybe I was having a gathering. I think I pointed to some chicken wings, and she shook her head. No, 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 no. And I'm like, what's she talking about? And then I think I pointed something else. She said, no, no, no. And I'm like, oh, this lady does not want to deal with me. So I went to the next person, and I have not ever set foot in her stall. You know what? This is the thing. I'm pulling out. I don't know what that is, but I grew up not. My mother always made us grab that, so I can tell you why. All right, let me see what I can do here. Woo. Yes. That's why you need a chef's knife. You need a strong knife. Okay? And the chicken wings, I take the tips off. Again, that's because I was raised like that. Don't ask me why. Why do we do it? Let's see. Let's just cut the wingets. Yep. This is just a choice thing. There is no reason to do that. And I have lots of vinegar, and then we have water in this pitcher. When I'm ready to shock it with some boiling water, you see people do that all the time. It's a Caribbean thing. Again, oh, they even gave me the chicken feet. Eee. Maybe somebody would want it, not me. I don't eat chicken feet. My grandmother used to eat that. OMG. I'm like, more for you, Granny, not me. I don't want it. But I think I may not even need to do the roast chicken. But what if somebody doesn't want all that spice with the jerk? I guess I have to do it. And then the rest of it's gonna be for me to make a sancocho, which is a soup here, con oregano niame, which is yam, chicken, oregano, niame, and culantro, not cilantro. You know, I was at the mall today, so I stop at Reba Smith. I always do. Oh, is that the kidneys? Look at these cute little things. They look like the kidneys. Reminds me of the first time I was in science class when I was in nursing school, and they had me dissect a frog. I thought I was gonna die. Thought I was gonna die. Yeah. Oh my God. I went, oh my God. I had to put my gloves on. And they had to smell the chloroform and stuff. Ooh. I survived. That's all I can say. Oh, this is what my mother made us take off. Why? I don't know. And we also took something off the chest when I was growing up. I'm like, now I'm thinking, you threw away some of the... All right. You know, 12 people. Maybe one chicken, not two. Yeah, maybe one. Maybe I'll do one jerk chicken and one roast. How about that? Yeah, if I had 20 people, that would have made more sense. Now here in Panama, there is... people ask me all the time if they can find collard greens. And I said, I don't see them in the store. I don't see them at the farmer's market, but there is a place that is far from here where they grow it on a farm, and they will ship it to you overnight. So if you have a craving for collard greens, if you text me later, I'll give you the information. But I was never a collard green. I mean, I enjoy it when somebody made it, but it's not something that I had to have. One sister cooked some, she found a collard green, and then she was looking for smoked turkey wings or something. And she was able to find it somewhere in Costa del Este. So, you know, I may not know, but people are finding this stuff here. Yep. All right, let's see. 12 people, 13 people. All right, maybe I'll take part of the next chicken and not all of it, right? Yeah, so at least I'll have a full pan. I think that's what I'm gonna do. You see, that's what you do, you think on your feet. But when I went to Reba Smith today, I was looking for the cream and I got it. What else did I get? I think I got something else. And I always go to the veggie department to see if they have okra. Even though I found okra yesterday. All right, this we are going to save. Yeah, I think that's good. So, you know, I started looking and they had like a beautiful avocado. And I finished my avocados. You know, I order from my my delivery folks. I had 3 avocados and I finished them, and each one of them were really good. The last one I ate with the salmon. Remember I showed you I bought salmon? So I cooked one steak, and then I was still hungry, so I went and cooked the other one. So I had 2 of them. I have 2 left. And then I had some avocado, and that's what I ate with the salmon and onions. Oh, it was so good. So you see, I can't be vegan. I love fish too much. I'm a pescatarian, but I also eat chicken sometimes. I started putting, you know, buying like a chicken breast or 2. So if I, you know, like this week, when I said, oh my God, I haven't had any protein. So I'll throw a chicken breast on the cast iron. Oh, it's so good. So I think I'm okay. But you know, I read that you can still be whole food plant-based as long as it's something that you eat sparingly. Now, I don't have to have meat at my meals. Now you see, I cook on Sundays, and usually the rest of the week I don't eat. I don't cook. You know, I don't eat every day something different. All right, we're gonna cut this in half. Yes, that is plenty of chicken, don't you think? I think so. And you got a roast. Let's see. All right, so you always have to clean. Oh, there's 2 more kidneys. Oh, they're so small. You know, for us human, our kidney is the size of a pea. So it's not that big, but boy, is it important. Your kidneys. Yesterday they were talking about the heat that we've been blessed with here lately. And they're saying, oh, it could cause some kidney problem. And I'm thinking maybe they meant dehydration, right? For people who are out working in the field or construction. Yes. So you gotta hydrate. Yep. Make the sizes not too big. I think we did good here. Yes, this is what my mother used to make us do. She would make you cut this and then find why she did that is beyond me. She would make you find this inside the chest. Oh, I don't even see it. Yeah, and she would, oh, I don't even see it here. But she would make us take it out. So we would take it out, and we, the children, we would cook it on the side for us. Oh, the stories I remember. Okay. So we are going to rinse our board because I need to cut some, touch some vinegar and stuff in my hands. That's just so. We're gonna wash. Yes. Soap and water. Yes, in your kitchen, washing your hands, soap and water. Yes, that is your friend. Okay? So, clean knife, clean board. And I told you the story of the chef who did not clean his board and proceeded to cut a head of lettuce right after the chicken. Woo! It was one of those shows, and then he went to give this food to the chefs to try, and the chefs are like, oh, we're sorry, we cannot taste your food, and he could not understand why. All right, I have some white vinegar. We're gonna pour some white vinegar. Vinegar doesn't clean only your house. It's good for stuff like that, all right? And then when I go to the sink to clean the chicken, I'm gonna turn the hot water on so that we're gonna shock all that with some hot water. And then we're gonna make our jerk seasoning. Ooh, you're gonna watch me make that. It's gonna be a good thing. I love making jerk seasoning. Not from a jar. Nope. And of course, I haven't had a chance to make it because I don't really eat chicken like that anymore. But whew. And in here we also have sour orange. So you can use sour orange. I'm gonna need some lime for my jerk seasoning, so I think I should do it. That'll squeeze. And some people have the little machine you press. I'm not impressed by that. Gotta make sure you just really clean your chicken. Caribbean people don't play with meat. We clean it. Yeah, so when I see people go with take the meat out and it's right, put it in the pan, we can't relate to that. I'm sorry. We're not criticizing you. We just don't do it like that. We don't. So I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of seasoning. And then do the jerk. Well, the jerk, you could do it as a rub. You could just have just the dry spices and then use it as a rub, but I don't. I put oil, I put lime juice and all the goodies and make it into almost like a paste. And then you just rub it all over your chicken. And when you do it overnight, whew, that chicken is going to be popping, okay? So that's what I keep saying. Can't rush perfection, right? Take your time. Because when you bite into that chicken and then you're like, OMG, it's because of all this love you put into it, right? All right, so now I'm gonna go to the sink. So I have two other, what do you call it? The pans in here. And then I'm gonna put it in the bottom one. And I know somebody said, don't use aluminum. Well, sis, that's what we have here. And I've been using it forever, so we're good. All right, let us rinse. my hands again. Alright. I should have turned this water on. So, yeah. So we're gonna shock it, and then I have this ready for us to start making our jerk seasoning. And I am bringing the grinder. In the grinder, I will put peppercorn, cloves, and allspice. You know how hard it was to find these whole allspice? Everybody had the molido. Molido means ground. So I'm like, no, entero. Entero means whole. And, all right. Let's see, what else? We're going to need cinnamon. Oh, we need ginger. I put ginger. I got ginger. We're gonna peel it. Hot pepper. I have my brand new Scotch bonnet, but I have these old ones, so I'm gonna definitely put those in the. And the thing is, with jerk, it has to be hot. So if somebody doesn't like heat, you don't want jerk seasoning. And I have some old looking jalapeno. That's what I meant to get, some fresh one. So I'm gonna put 2 of these in my jerk. Just, they're a little bit hot, but not too hot. So I think that will work. Yes. And I have to look at my phone so I don't miss anything. Lots of garlic, which I have. Green onions. Oh yes, I'm gonna have to wash those. Yep, it's going to be fun, 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 fun. That's why I say cooking for me is therapy, you guys, so don't mind me. I get excited. All right, the water is almost done. I should have boiled it earlier, but just don't want my hand in the chicken again after I've washed it twice. Okay, we ready. Now we're going to shock it. Shock it, shock it, shock it, shock it, shock it, shock it. See. You know what I saw today? I went to the meat market, and across from the meat market at San Felipe, one sister was asking where she could find sea moss. Well, this guy had sea moss there for $5 a bag. And one sister said, oh my God, I just paid $14.99 for the same. I'm like, well, so, all right. So you don't have to do this part. This is just our crazy habit. You don't have to do all this, okay? We just anal about this chicken. It's okay. So now we're gonna drain it. All right. So this chicken is nice and clean and ready. So I'm just gonna pour. So this is the chicken in it, so we can't use it for anything else. So we're just gonna pour a little bit of olive oil, and then I'm gonna put it in the fridge while I'm working on the jerk seasoning, okay? And let's see, a little bit of pepper. just put it in the fridge and let it stay there for now. Okay. So, just want to be on the safe side. I'm going to wash this and my hands again. All right. So to get your jerk seasoning, I don't know if I told you before, this kitchen only has 2 outlets. So you have to be creative when you're trying to use. I have an extension and it's kind of stuck there. Okay, I got one little area. Okay, so I had one of these at home in the States. I think that's one of the things I didn't bring with me, and this sister brought it for me, and I was like, oh, I'm so touched. All right, now allspice is a very important part of island cooking, so I'm not going to be stingy about it, okay? Allspice and peppercorn, pimiento en grano. That means grainy pepper. Pepper in grains. Grano. Now I need lots of pepper now. All that chicken. Okay? And cloves. As I said, I'm scared of cloves. It's just so strong. Clavino de oro. Olor. Clavino de olor. Now, cloves, you don't need that much because it is so strong. Alright, so let's see if we can pulverize that and start. But it's supposed to lock somehow. Okay. It's supposed to lock. See if it will reach. Oh my goodness. So freaking difficult. Looks good. You know, just like we have some streets here and we're like, who designed this? Okay, so there it goes. Ooh. Yes. Ah. And then we're gonna use, we're gonna put all that in our blender. I had used my blender earlier for, I made a small cup of smoothie earlier. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and put that in here. Last time I did it. And then I made the smoothie today and I forgot to put the ice. Listen, I don't get it. I don't have it all together sometimes. All right. So we keep in mind what we have here. We're going to put cinnamon. There is paprika. Yeah, why not? This is the paprika I put in my smoothie. Remember that? Okay. You are asking how much of this, how much of that. Just think about the chicken. How much chicken you have, and that's gonna give you a good barometer of how much spice you need. So I'm gonna put a generous amount of cinnamon. Yes. We have cumin. You can't ever go wrong with cumin. Put some cumin in here. Yes. No turmeric, not with this one. Not with that, okay? And I'm gonna put some salt. Now remember, I'm not gonna be able to taste the chicken, so I gotta make sure I put enough salt. But before I put the salt, remember I'm gonna put some dark soy sauce, and this is loaded with salt. So I have to keep that in mind. Yeah. Because you know, the one thing I am not putting in my jerk seasoning is that brown liquid browning, whatever that thing is. I'm like, I don't know what's in that thing. What makes it brown? So it's not gonna go in my body. And I have Worcestershire sauce. So we're gonna put some. And then if you say, how much, Miss Maggie? Well, I don't know. Quarter cup. Who's counting? Who's measuring? Okay? Lee and Perrin sauce is, you know, that's classic. Okay. I got some sesame oil. No. What is that? Balsamic vinegar? No. Not. Little bit of vinegar. White vinegar. And we're gonna put some oil, because otherwise it's not gonna be able to blend, right? You need some liquid. Oh, that's a good half a cup to 2/3 of a cup. All right, so now I am going to squeeze the juice of maybe 2 or 3 lemons. The good thing about the lime here is that they don't have seeds, so I don't have to worry about it. Why doesn't it have seed? That makes me think now, right? We're gonna put fresh rosemary. We're gonna put fresh thyme. Ooh, yes, ma'am. And a boatload of garlic and hot peppers. So I have a recipe, not for how much, but the ingredients. So, oh, and we have to put some brown sugar. Yes. All right, don't clutch your pearls about the brown sugar. It's okay. It's just to balance the flavors. It's not gonna hurt you, not cause you to go in diabetic shock. So relax. Okay? Now you had a whole pan of chicken. So you know you're gonna need a lot of acid, right? Roll it to release the juice. And if you got one of those juicers, go for it. You have to put some salt, ginger. Ooh. I love lime. Like it in my water, in my tea, and todo. Except white rice and spaghetti. Everything else gets lemon juice. And then we get to taste the mixture before I put it on the chicken. So I'm not going to be able to taste the chicken, but I can taste the marinade, right? Yes. See. So I like to get started the day before when I'm doing anything, because I don't want to be rushing. And I was going to say I allow myself to sleep in, but I can't. I have the workout at 8. We work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Work out with us. Move. On Mondays, we stretch. It's like yoga Pilates. And then on Wednesdays and Fridays, we even do jumping jacks, right? We get our heart going and our joints, but always keeping in mind that we are vantage, right? We don't want to do anything that's going to hurt us. Okay, I mentioned that I wanted to add a couple of my fading jalapenos. So we're gonna just throw them in there, seeds and all. Okay, and I'm gonna start with 3 of the peppers and then see how it tastes, because it needs to be hot but not fiery hot, right? But remember the amount of chicken you have in there. So 3 is fine. And that's it. I'm not gonna put any more now. For me, I probably put a little bit more. I'll be nice. All right, ginger. You know, I've said before that you want to learn to add ginger to your poultry. It's a game changer. All right, and with the ginger, what you need is a spoon. You just do this with the spoon. And of course, it's going to go in a marinade. It doesn't have to look pretty, right? Ginger goes in. I think we're gonna stop here with the ginger. Again, you don't want any flavor to overpower. You want a happy marriage. All right, now let's do garlic. We're probably gonna put like 3, what do you call these? 3 what? I don't know what you call that. What is that? What would you call that? I don't know. All right, we don't want the skin. Even though the lady with the book, I mean, my mother used to make tea out of garlic peel. So I'm sure there is some medicinal value to it. Three heads of garlic? What would you call that? I'm stumped now. lots and lots of garlic. This is the one thing you can just go crazy, because it's only going to be good for the poultry. Mucho ajo. Now, you might go somewhere and you see them have peeled garlic in a jar, and you're like, oh, I don't want to take the time to peel the garlic. Let's do that. No, it will not taste the same. I have done it, and I do not like it. But it's just me now. Remember, you do what you want. I'm just telling you what my experience has been with some of these things. I remember at the restaurant, they used to have, you go to Sam's or whatever, Restaurant Depot, which is where we used to do most of our shopping, and they would have those big jars of peeled garlic. And of course, in a restaurant, you're looking to save time. And I bought a whole jar. I used it maybe twice, and I was like, oh no, I did not like that. There's something I had developed called the aioli. I made an aioli for wraps. I think we'll do wraps sometimes. But the wraps here are small. Oh my God. I can't find a nice wide wrap to do a nice wrap sandwich. It's just small. You know, we used to make breakfast burritos and all kind of different wraps. I'm gonna go to Cisco and see if they might have some large wraps. They might. Because Cisco typically services, and remember, if it falls down, you pick it up within so many seconds, it's okay. And it's going into a marinade anyway, so don't worry about it. I used to get orders from Cisco, and they have a lot of things for like restaurants. Oh, we're not even close. You know, because if you don't take the skin off, you're gonna have a hot mess in your chicken, and that's no bueno. You don't need that. And I don't mind. I do not mind. So we'll do one more, whatever we call these. Garlic. Wow. Can somebody tell me what they call this? Oh, head of garlic? Is that what you say call it? A head of garlic? An ear of garlic? I don't know what this is. I just say garlic, but I don't know what to call this. But what I'm not doing this year is Thanksgiving. Last year I did Thanksgiving. Oh my God. It took me about a week to recover. I was so sore. And I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself, Maggie? No. Because if I go to Jamaica with Christine, hopefully we'll be out there for Thanksgiving. So I don't need to worry about that. And then I've wanted to start a new tradition for Christmas. Years ago, I said, oh, maybe I'll do like a cruise, but I'm not a fan of cruising. So maybe I'll just travel. Maybe Christmas in Paris sounds good. Paris is beautiful on Christmas. Ooh, yes. Christmas in Paris sounds amazing. I love it in New York too, but oh no. Not New York. Not for a while. Yep. Different life, different goals, different plans. So you just adjust and keep it moving. No sense whining and crying about it. Not gonna do you any good. All right, let's see. Oh, we need green onions. We need parsley. We need fresh rosemary. Rosemary is good for meat, whatever your meat is. I don't put it in fish. It's just too strong. And fish is not, it's just mild. Fish doesn't need such strong spices. But if you're cooking chicken or like goat, ooh, yes, you better put some rosemary in it. Look at all the garlic. Mamma mia. Que está pasando? And then we're gonna make pickles. Ooh, pickles is so good. Like you could just cook plantains, you know, like yesterday I cooked one plantain in the oven and then you just use the pickles as a topper. But it's nice and hot. See? Okay. Alright. So, yep, that's a lot of garlic. I would say mucho ajo. Ajo, ajo. Yes. Alright. We need green onion, fresh thyme, parsley, chives. Brown sugar. Alright, here is fresh rosemary. How beautiful it looks. Yes. Woo. Now, again, you don't want to leave the spine because you don't want anybody to bite into that. That's no bueno. So you just bring the leaves off the stem. Yes. Así se hace. Yes. And then we're going to chop it up and put it in here. Because even though we're going to put this in the blender, that blender is not going to, you know, break this down for you. You got to do it yourself. And rosemary is kind of hard, so you got to press on it. Just don't do it on your finger. The last time I cut my finger, what was I doing? It wasn't no bueno. Alright. I don't see my... Thought I bought parsley. But you need fresh thyme. I have a leftover here. Yep, we're gonna use that. That was left. Ooh, it's all dry. No bueno. You want fresh thyme, not dry thyme. Well, I have dry thyme in a... See how much thyme? Yes. I have fresh thyme in a... Dry thyme in a bag. But Yes. Remember, thyme is like garlic. It is so good. Fresh thyme. Okay. I found the green onion yesterday. I don't know, look at this. The ending looks like chive, doesn't it? Right here. And that's how they sell green onions here. You see how small they are? I don't like that. They're too small. But if I can't find the parsley, that is going to replace the parsley. So I'm going to chop the head off and just rinse it off. Yeah, because you know it grows in the ground, so it gets dirty. I've been getting some things from Spain in my feed, and it's like these women working with these horses, and the horses, kind of like the Mexican horses, you know, they're walking and stepping. Ooh, I love all that. But I know I probably won't see it. Because now, with my travel, I don't want to go anywhere where my travel experience is going to be negative. If it's going to be a place where they don't like people like me, I just don't bother. I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. So that's why, one of the reasons I decided to focus my travel on Central, maybe some places in South America. But the Caribbean is where I want to focus for the next few years. If God gives me health and strength. All right. What else am I missing? Let's see. So the chives is going to take the place of parsley that I don't see. And some packed brown sugar. I found Domino's here. I was so excited. And it's not really dark. I was looking for the real molasses looking brown sugar. But no, I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Whatever is available is what. All right, so you see it's like maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons. It's not a lot. Because I don't want it sweet now. We just want it to balance the flavor. All right, so I'm going to look at my recipe here, make sure I didn't miss anything. I got my recipe. All right. Oh, where's the jerk? Oh, I found a lot of trivia for my party about Panama. They enjoyed it last time. All right, allspice, thyme, cloves, yes. Parsley, dark soy. Ginger. I think I got everything. Salt. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt. It's always better to add. All right, so you see how many things went into it? I think I got everything. Maybe a bit more soy. All right. vinegar, hot pepper, lemon juice. Okay, cinnamon, yes. All right, we're gonna put it, we're going to blend. Pushing everything down. Ooh, it smells so good. Wow. Ooh. Mm-hmm. It is a beauty. By Crocky, it's a beauty. All right, so let me taste. So all that's gonna go on the chicken. Now I don't have browning sauce, remember. Ginger. Ooh, very good. Maybe a little bit more salt. It's got a little bit of heat, not too much heat. So I'm gonna leave it like that because I don't want to, you know, get my people to just say, oh my God. A bit more salt. Now remember, we have a bunch of chicken in there. And once I marinate tomorrow, I just pop it in the oven. That's the good thing. And chicken doesn't take a long time to cook in the oven anyway. Yum. All right. So now we're gonna bring the chicken back. Marinate. Yep, I feel the little heat. You know, you can use this. I've seen people jerk like shrimp. I personally feel like shrimp don't need that much seasoning, but you can. And of course, some people want to wear their gloves to touch the chicken. You can do that. I just feel like my hands are my best tools. And they have the flamenco tableño here, where there's a restaurant Oh, more than one actually. That will put up a show. I like that. So there's a Panamanian friend. She wanted to go with me. So maybe we'll go next week. This week we're finishing up La Etnia Negra this weekend. All kinds of things going on. Casco Viejo is gonna have something all day. And I was hoping that they would have the parade in Rio Abajo. But apparently I must have missed it because I see a lot of people posting it like they did it maybe at the beginning of the Etnia Negra. And tomorrow I'm reading, this is Etnia Negra Day, the 30th, but I have 2 Spanish classes, and then I'm doing the live tomorrow about emotional toll of relocating. So, and then Sunday, I don't know what we're gonna do on Sunday. I have no clue. Maybe I'll use the 2 salmon and then trying to figure something to do with it. All right. My neighbors just sold their house and moving there from Maryland. Oh, well, you know what? I wish I could have sold my house. It's about 8:15 here in Panama. And I know you guys are 1 hour ahead if you're in the Eastern time zone. Gonna renew my lease, and I'm just so, I wish my house would sell, but it wasn't selling. Where is my, so that's a problem. All right, so we're gonna put that in the fridge, let it marinate in this goodness overnight. And then we're gonna put it in the oven at maybe 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. I think I'm gonna do the cabbage early and then put it back later on, just to warm it up. The rice, you know, I time myself. The rice, I'm gonna start at about 3. Just like I do the mashed potatoes. But otherwise, yep. Yes. So now, the next thing we're gonna do is this roast. We are going to season that, and of course also put it in the fridge overnight so that everything can marinate. And the chicken was $1.50 a pound. So that's not bad, right? These chickens were about $7, $8. And I know in the US it's a lot more expensive. You know, we talk about the US, talk about Canada. People talk about Canada, how expensive things are there. And I'm like, what are people supposed to do? I keep thinking if you had children, the way my kids used to eat, it used to be like, you know, they, when the kids would come home from practice, they would take a loaf of bread and crunch it like an accordion and just eat it. I'm like, what do you do with children like that now? In this, the way things are expensive, you have a bunch of kids. That is hard for parents. I remember there was a lady who had a bunch of kids, and McDonald's used to have, what is it again? A double cheeseburger specials. I don't know if you recall that. And she used to buy a bunch of them and put them in the freezer so that when the kids got home, they would have something to eat. And you know, when you're sitting there and you're talking about you need to get healthy eating, or people are just trying to survive, right? So I try not to put my foot in my mouth when I'm talking with people who are just struggling to get by, right? So all right, let's squeeze some lime on this baby here. That's pretty. So we're gonna fill the cavity with some good seasoning so that it would infuse into the breast here. And that's what makes the breast very flavorful. You stuff it with, you know, with the garlic, onions, lime, fresh ginger, thyme, all the goodness. And we're gonna tie it. And then we're gonna lid this and cook it in here. And then when it's almost cooked, then I put the potatoes around and it gets all that juice. All right, let's rinse Mademoiselle. All right. So what we're gonna do an herb butter. Woo. All right. So inside here, let me wash my hand. Doesn't make any sense to wash my hand because I'm gonna be touching it again. Let's just pour a little bit of oil in here. I'm gonna make an herb butter. All right. Wash the hands. Wash the knife. I know, it's not easy to keep remembering not to cross-contaminate, right? It's not easy. This is my beautiful New Zealand butter. Anchor, unsalted, sin-sal, pure New Zealand butter. That is what I use. Right? Gonna put it in the microwave. The best way really is to get the butter out. All right. Now, we're going to put these inside the cavity. Yesterday they showed this little 2-year-old girl singing Frozen. My God, she's 2. She remembered every word. Now you know that little kid is not going to be a normal kid. 2 years old. She sang the whole song all by herself. Oh, I have a feeling my butter has melted all the way. Yes, it has. Which is really not what I wanted, but we'll make do with it. Put all our spices in there, and we're gonna put it under the skin of the chicken. As I said, the best thing to do is to leave the butter out if you have sticks. That way, it's just soft. All right, and we're gonna do some thyme and some rosemary. Did you guys see the thing about the big old alligator that got inside a public store in Naples, Florida? I'm like, oh my God. It was inside the store, a whole big old gator. Oh my God. I would just about die. I need more. I would just about die. Jesus. I mean, I'm from Florida, and we used to see them cross the road, but I don't want to be that close to a gator. Open his big old mouth like he's trying to grab somebody. And there showed the guy also, there was a baby in the carriage. He ran away and left the baby. And the, one of the workers pushed, with a broom, kind of got between the baby and the gator. And people were like, I'd break up with that guy. Left the baby and ran. Well, my mom did the same thing. There's a story my mom always said. She had like a fire. She had just given birth, and she said she ran outside and then somebody get the baby for me. And we're like, Mom, you left the baby. She said it was second nature. She didn't even think about it. She just ran. I'm like, well, what kind of mother are you? Oh my God, that was funny though. She said, I screamed, bring the baby, get the baby for me, somebody. Oh my gosh. All right, this is herbed. Yum, yum. All right, garlic. Squeeze a little bit of lime, and then I'm going to put the rest of the lime inside. These are going to go inside the chicken. This is going to be in the butter that has solidified, really. It should have just been softened. I mean, it has, liquefied. All right, so now we're going to put some salt. That's going to go under the skin of the chicken. So you want to put a generous amount of salt and pepper. Generous amount. And cumin. I'm in love with cumin now. And paprika, not cinnamon. And marjoram. Oh, I need another one of those. It's almost done. I like this. Yes. And this is oregano. And finas hierbas, fine herbs. Okay. Yep, I have fresh thyme in here. So this is good. I'm gonna stick it in the freezer just to see if we'll thicken up, solidify it a little bit. I let it too while we are putting things inside this. I don't think I can get this inside, but we will pretend. This chicken looks so good. Now this is herbe de Provence. Okay, so inside this chicken, we're gonna put our you saw what I put in there. Lime wedges. This is thyme and a little bit of rosemary. Yep. And some garlic. Alright. You can't ever have too much garlic, you know what I say. Alright. And let's get this. Alright. Yum. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit in here because we don't have anything else spice-wise. And then we're going to have to lift. If it cooperates, and try to grab it here too. Yep. And I'm gonna wash my nails. My nails I've been wanting to go get I need a manicure. My nails are too long. Right? So you know your chicken's gonna taste good. Right? And then what you have left, you just do this. And of course, we're going to now sprinkle some of our spices onto the skin, right? Okay. Lots of hand washing. All right. So now let's make sure our chicken is well seasoned on the outside. Yep. This is adobo. And of course, when the chicken starts to give out the juice, when it's halfway cooked, then I get to taste whatever the liquid is, and then you can kind of adjust your flavor then. Cumin. And paprika. Okay. So you're like, oh my God, that's a lot of work. Well, if you want food that tastes good, it takes a little love, right? All right, so now we're going to just wrap the legs and make it tight. Need to have twirl. Let it go, let it go. I mean, I'm telling people, I am 2 years old. And she sang the whole song by herself. And her mama was there, very pregnant, just saying, yes, go ahead. I was like, oh, it's so cute. My gosh. Yep. Put the wing underneath. Sometimes it doesn't want to stay. And if it doesn't, then I leave it alone. All right, so we are good. So I don't want to keep you guys, but I'm not done. I'm going to do my my cabbage mix so that, you know, it saves me time. And in the morning, I don't have to rush because rice doesn't take any time, right? And why don't you stay? All right, I'm not gonna type you. All right. Ooh. But this chicken is gonna be popping tomorrow. You know, for a time, I had those gel nails, and I was like, I was tired of them. And then I went to have them taken off. Oh my God, afterwards, I don't know if you've had them, my nails were so brittle. And they were breaking left and right. And I swore, I said, I'll never put those things on my nails again. That was a no bueno. So I don't even get manicured. I just go for the cuticles and, you know, for them to kind of, but because my hands are always in food. And unless I have the artificial stuff, they don't last. And I'm like, I don't need to do that. What is this? Where is the beginning and the end of this foil? Oh, okay. I was like, where is it? You know, I also went to get like a big old box of the clay. Couldn't find it. I'm telling you. So I have to remember, if I find it, I think I went to Cisco, they didn't have it either. So you end up buying like a 75 square feet that just, you go through it so fast. And I'm like, what is happening? Yeah, those are the things that frustrate you. Can't find what you need in one place. You gotta go multiple places. Something as simple as clean. Oh, the heavy lifting has been done. That was the hardest part of my prep. Right. So now I'm gonna do, maybe I'll do the pickles. You guys might want to see how I make pickles. Pickles, it is the slaw that you make that you can put on meat. This girl that I'm making it for, she is vegetarian, not vegan, but she likes heat. Yes. So she likes Thai because it's hot. Alright, I just want to make enough for her so I can put it in a jar. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I have exactly what she needs. This is a nice sized jar. You know, when you have a nice jar, don't you hate to throw it away? I do. And then I'm like, I can't keep them all. Okay, I didn't have raw chicken on here, so I'm good. I cleaned my knife. And tomorrow I have to, I think I have another, yes. I had another cabbage here. Wow, I am surprised. Usually they peel off all this goodness and then they give you the white one. I'm like, don't take that off. Now I'm gonna use this one for the other mix because I need the green. But I'm gonna use this one here that I bought. So I don't have one of those thing that shaves the cabbage, which would be best, but we're gonna make do with what we have. And we want to take the core out. Right? And we're going to cut really small. Otherwise, if you know the thing that you go and you go shush shush shush, yeah, that's what you would need. But I don't have one. So if somebody wants to bring me one, you're welcome. Nice. And some people would put like bell pepper and stuff, but no, we were not raised putting bell pepper in it. It's onion, no garlic. And you know how much I love garlic, so it's like, you mean no garlic? What? Okay. So I'm gonna rinse this just in case there might be something in it. They have this new movie coming. Is it, what is it? Moya? Or one of those Disney movies? I can't wait to go see that. I think The Rock is playing it. I like The Rock. He's a good human. That's what I say. All right. We need some onions. Let it go, let it go. I like to mix white and red onion in my pickles. So, and I see, you know, the Jamaicans saying, "Oh, let's make Haitian pickles." I'm like, oh, okay. Well, why shouldn't they? I'm making jerk chicken. That is their recipe. Except that brown liquid. I'm not putting that in there, but, right? I just try to respect people's recipes. So when I see this South Korean lady say she's making sauce-pois, ooh, you know, we feel some kind of way when it looks like, what is that? Oh, Lord Jesus, help us. So I want to go to South Korea because they keep showing this place where they make these hocks, you know, hocks, which is part of the legs, and the way they cook it, it's falling off the bone. I'm like, I am going just, I forgot if I put the name of the place where we go and to try it. Yes. All right. Some white. And then the star is the hot peppers. Woo. Yes, this one, I have to use that pretty ahi chumbo. Yes, you have to do that. Small. Or if you had one of these contraption that just slice it really fast, yeah, they come in handy. And all right. Whew. Yes. Now see how everything kind of looks about the same size? That's what you're going for. All right. And ahi chumbo, here we come. Woohoo! So for her, because she likes hot, I'm gonna be nice to her. I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3. Woo-wee! I don't know. She's gonna say, well, I like hot, Maggie. This was hot. I'm like, well, you said you could handle the heat. I can't help you there. Let's rinse. Let it go. Let it go. All right. We're going to... Now, this is not the time where you take the heat off, but I'm just going to take this off. And then we're going to slice them as close to the rest of the stuff as possible. I'm not going to cut my finger. Now, you may want to wear gloves if you're going to be doing that, because do not accidentally touch your eyes. It will not be pretty. Now see, you don't chop, chop, chop because you don't want it to, you want to try to keep the same size. I smell it. The heat. The heat is alive with the sound of Cardi. You know, that's my favorite movie of all time. I know. Sound of Music. That is my fave. I mean, you know what? No matter what happens, these are the things that we grew up with. You can't deny your childhood. I grew up watching that. When my life is lonely. Ooh, here we go. To sail through the night. Now, the other thing. Good evening, Auntie. What's on the menu? Good evening, Maggie. How are you? That was my... Oh, really? Thank you. So I don't feel too bad like a freak. You know, people make you feel a certain way if you say you like the sound of music. All right, I'm going to just put some thyme in here. But, you know, I'm going to open up the stem. I'm not cooking, Auntie. I'm doing a prep for my party tomorrow. So earlier I made a jerk seasoning and we seasoned our chicken and we seasoned another roast. And now we're making pickles, which is pickled cabbage for one of my lady friends. She likes hot. So we put 3 Scotch bonnet peppers in there. We shredded some cabbage, onion, green onion, white onions, and then now we're going to do the pickling. The pickling. More. You see why we have to have thyme? We use thyme in everything. With the sound of music. And hopefully YouTube is not gonna say you're singing somebody's song. You know, the YouTube police, I call them. They're always there telling you you're using somebody's song. Okay, so lots of vinegar. Mucho vinagre. That's what they say, vinegar. Vinagre. Vinaigre in French. So you see how close Spanish is to French? Yep. And then we just gonna put salt. That's it. The sound of music. Okay, do I dare taste it? Ooh. Oh, but it tastes so good. But hot. Yes, it's hot. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But that is, you pickle that, you put it in the jar, and then you leave it on the counter. When you get your griot, which is fried pork, and your plantain, you put that on top. Woo, that is a requirement. You can't have those things without pickles, okay? Sometimes when I make too much, I get rid of the liquid and then I just feast on the rest of the veggies, which is what I'm gonna do here. So this is just for our sister. And hopefully she's not watching, because I want it to be a surprise. Otherwise, it's not going to be a surprise. Oh, and I and I have to make cornbread for another sister tomorrow. I bought some milk. I don't usually drink milk, but I like that milk from Chiriqui. All right, so I'm going to pour the vinegar. And then I'm just going to eat the cabbage. Okay. Voila. This is, you know, I used to do these and gift them to people at Christmas, people I know who would enjoy them. So that's done. And now I'm just going to slice the cabbage, the peppers, the zucchini, and get my big old pan ready. Onions, would I put onions in there? I don't know, maybe. I'll tell you how good this is. It's hot, but it's so good. Mm-hmm. Yum, yum, yum. So good. So good. Okay. So now I have to think. I can't cut these the same way I did for the pickles, because this is going to be the veggie side for my chicken. Right? So I need probably like nice size like dices. Alright? Because when it's cooked, yeah, I want that side. Because when I get to the zucchini, same thing. We're gonna want everything to be about that size. Now this one, I don't want it hot, because I have a vegan lady. I don't know if she is into hot stuff. So I want to be sure she's gonna have rice to eat and the vegetable medley. I don't know if she's gonna eat the mashed potatoes, because the mashed potatoes will have dairy, so she may not. That's what I always have to keep in mind. Who you're cooking for, you should always keep that in mind. You know, it's like in a restaurant. People come and they used to have all kinds of demands and no this, hold that. Oh, such a pain. Such a pain. All right, we're gonna open these. What about, there's another movie I used to like. Remember the Thornbirds? Anybody remember the Thornbirds? Oh my God. I love that movie. What was that guy? He died. Peter. I love that movie. Did anybody else like the Thornbirds? I remember that. I used to watch that thing so many times. The priest showing you that they are human. That's why I used to be so upset with this church rule that they can't marry, and they keep screwing with the, you know, with the nuns and messing with kids. Let them marry. You expect the man to just to have their needs met. It's not gonna work. So every time I see a priest, that's what comes to my mind, which is really so not right, but that's what I think about. I'm like, hopefully nothing's happening, no hanky pankies. Right? Too much, too many restrictions. Because I'm sure there are some people it doesn't bother, but there are some who are bothered by it. God made them like that. I don't know. I don't know. That's it, Richard Chamberlain. You didn't watch what? But didn't you watch RT? The Sound of Music? Oh my God, I watch that every single year. Wasn't that like the movie that people watch around Christmas? Yes, I love Richard Chamberlain. What other movies have I liked? You know, I'm not a movie buff, and even now, people are like, oh, they buy a new box so they can watch. I don't watch TV like that. I watch the news. I like documentaries. I like to watch, you know, how things happen. I like biographies. I like stuff like that, but I don't like, you know, just to watch movies, you know, shows when they say, have you know about this show? I have no idea because I don't watch them. I don't like violent movies. I don't like sci-fi. That kind of leaves me out. And that's why I don't like comedy, because I feel like when you're doing comics, you in danger of making fun of somebody or a group of people, and that doesn't sit well with me. That's why what's this man is in big trouble right now for making a joke about George Floyd. I didn't, you know, I don't watch him. What's his name again? But I don't appreciate that. If you're gonna be funny and then you got to talk about a person, and that's what happened. They run out of material, and they have to talk about somebody, and you know your mouth gets away from you, and then you say something that's gonna offend someone. It's like, don't go there. Don't go there. Alrighty, what else do we need? We need peppers and the zucchini. The zucchini, ¿dónde estás? Peppers. Yep. Got a zucchini. We got peppers. One of each. Red, yellow, green. Yep, to give us a pop of color. These are about $4 a pound here in Panama. Peppers. I'm like, ooh. But I went to the place and I was able to get, it's like a farmer's market, and then I have a table where they have discounted stuff. And I found, you know, they have 2 in a bag for $1. I said, yep, I'll take that. I will take it. I guess I used to watch a lot more television when I was younger. Now I'm just not interested. So you see, tomorrow when I wake up, I don't have to rush to do anything. Take my time, clean the house, and actually start cooking about 12. So cooking the black beans at 12. They'll be done by 2. And cook the rice at 3. Potatoes at 3. And then, but I'll cook this early in the morning first, like at 10. And then, so now keeping with the cut here. So we're not gonna be doing slices. We're just gonna cook. We're just gonna have irregular cuts so that we stay with the theme. You don't want to have different cuts, right? Yes. There is a recipe that I have for stuffed peppers, and I think a lot of people do that, but this one is an appetizer where you get the peppers and then you get a filling that you make with cream cheese and dried beef. Remember dried beef? And then you mix it and then you fill the potato. You take the cup and then you wrap them and you put them in the oven, not the oven, you put them in the fridge, let them, harden, and then you just slice it and you put it on a plate round. Oh, it makes such a pretty, different colors. And then people would just get the slice, but the slice would be topped with the cream cheese mixture. Ooh, yes. It's a very old recipe. I've had that forever. And, at home, when I used to have parties, I used to cook it like that. It's a nice appetizer that is, something different than chips or spinach dip or something like that. I don't like those things. No me gustan. So these are gonna have to cook. So the cabbage is gonna cook down, so it's gonna be low. It's not gonna be that much, but I think it's gonna be enough because I have a head of broccoli. I'm gonna blanch and then add towards the end again because I don't want it to lose its color. Nice, 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 nice. So long farewell with that little girl. Oh, she was so cute. I better say goodbye. Adieu, adieu to you and you and you. So long farewell. I've got the sun has gone to bed and so must I. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Oh, I haven't seen that in ages. The sun has gone to bed and so must I. So now, I'm gonna have to make an herb oil for this because we gotta season this. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna let you guys go because this is getting out of hand here. Okay. This zucchini. Oh, one of my favorite things too. I love zucchini. Let's see what we're gonna do here. And we're gonna keep the same motif, irregular cuts. Yes. The sun has gone to bed in summer sun. I skip. Goodbye. Call those on a bias. It's not a regular cut. There's a place for irregularity. Right? Yes. Ooh, beautiful. You know, that's what they say. Whatever you're eating, make sure you get multiple colors. Okay? I tell you, sometimes people post a dish and I'm like, ew, who's gonna eat that? It's all gray. I know I wouldn't be eating it. So give yourself time and just think about how your food looks. All right, I think I'm gonna, what did I need the red onion for? I can't remember. I haven't made French onion soup in a while, but you know you have to have cheese and bread, so I'm not gonna be making that. But I thought maybe Sunday I could do some wraps, you know, like maybe some quesadillas, but that's cheese. I don't want to eat cheese. Ay, ay, ay. Or you could do, I could do a bean burrito. I don't need cheese for that. What do you guys think? Bean burrito. Beans are good for you. So, but the wrap, that's carbs. All right, half for this one, and then pink. Wow, by Clarky. Look at this beauty. You love cheese, so there's that. You eat with your eyes. I mean, I'm not saying I don't love cheese. It's just not good for me right now. You know, as you get older, you got to pull back on the dairy. So tomorrow morning, I bought a thing of milk. I'm going to make this cornbread for the sister. But I have a recipe that calls for cheese and bacon. Well, we're not doing that. So I'll put the jalapeno instead. All right, herb oil for this baby here. So let's put we'll do the pepper. And of course it's going to cook down, and when it cooks down, then I get to season it some more. Right now, I just want to give it a little something to marinate with. Wow, look at this beauty. Woo. All right. Olive oil. So I think that's just enough for this dish. I don't think I will have, wow. trash can is filling up. Okay, so Herbe de Provence, I'm opening it and putting a generous amount. Nice. Herbe de Provence. Not cumin. I have oregano, yes. Dry. And now there is dry thyme. I'm just going to put a little bit, but I'm going to put fresh thyme in here. Okay. And fine herbs. Right. Salt. Pepper. I already put some there. And then garlic. Garlic again. It's a good thing I got another one of these because I went through these so fast. But this is just for this. So, garlic is good. So, that's a big pot, maybe, that's 3 cloves, 4, 5, I think that should do it. That should do it. Yep, the kitchen's gonna need a good wipe down tomorrow. I was able to find all the plants that I wanted. And like I said, I'm changing my mind about Reba Smith. I used to think that it was just for the rich folks who couldn't afford anything. You know, lately, I bought this, let me show you. I bought this beautiful avocado. Look at this beauty. Remember I told you about the narrow neck? That's how we know they're from here. But look at that. This is gorgeous. I picked it up and then they weighed it. It was $1.53. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now you're talking. You're talking my language because I was holding my breath. I think maybe they've heard some complaints because the other day, not the other day, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I was trying to look for some, protein powder, some plant powder. And there's a place here called Organica. I go there, I'm like, it was like $50, $60. I'm like, no way. So I finally stopped by and I was just looking at Reba Smith and they had protein. Even though when I opened it, it was like half full. But you know, they've been doing that lately. When you open a bag of chips, you know, those of you who eat chips and you see how low it is in there, that's what they do. They make you believe that the price is the same, but you're getting less. And it was like $20-some. I'm like, oh, okay. So I think I'm making an executive decision. I'm gonna start shopping there. I mean, I go there when I bank and I stop and I look for the okra. But I like, it reminds me of Publix. It's clean and you pretty much can find what you're looking for. I like that. I don't like to be going here and there for this item, that item. So, and since I've decided to use more Uber than carrying stuff on my back, so now I think if I go there, I can take my carriage, the cart, the roller cart, and shop there. No, I don't buy meat at those places. I don't eat meat. But if I'm looking for fish, I didn't look at the fish today, but they used to say $8 something a pound for Covina that you can get at $3 a pound at the fish market. So I'm like, no. And if I were to need, you know, like today, needing something for a party, I certainly wouldn't go there. All right, so we are making our oil, and we're gonna pour it over this, and we'll be done. Now, wasn't that fun? I just love to. Oh, so good. Oh my goodness, look at this. Now you see what I mean? You just give this food a lot of love, and it will love you back. It will love you back. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. And I was excited to find sriracha. Yes, but I don't need sriracha. Not right now. So we are going to cover this baby and let it enjoy the night and have a good night. So tomorrow saves me time. Yay! There we go. What is the name of that movie? Mo and Moya? Wow. My mind is going. I think that they have like dolls of them. Have you tried Whole Food down? They don't have Whole Foods here in Panama, nor do they have Trader Joe's, not yet at least. But I wouldn't say that Reba Smith reminds me of Whole Foods. No, they're not into homemade soap, and stuff like that. But they have a really good selection and quality is good. So sometimes I don't mind paying. I don't mind paying for the real stuff. But if I'm cooking for a large group, it's not a place to go buy a lot of stuff. You're gonna end up spending a lot of money. Yeah, I think my phone must be charged by now. Ooh. I love this little thing. It just charges your phone so much faster. Guys, I don't know how many hours we've been together, but Long Island, New York. It's so hard to find good avocados. Really? Oh, but we go by seasons. They're in season right now, right? Because May is really the month where you find. So now I finished eating my my pineapple yesterday. I'm addicted to pineapple, so I have to go find 2 for $1 at that place. Yes, I'm eating raw cabbage from the pickles. I think my friend's gonna be happy. I made her own little dish, and she's just gonna put it on her food, like I'm doing right now, just eating it raw. Yeah, we don't have Whole Food here, so I guess Rita Smith would be like the Whole Food. But avocado, I love this. When I order my delivery, they send 3 for $1, but they're usually that big. I mean, for $5. They're not usually that big. And I can't wait. So I think on Sunday, I have 2 salmon steaks. So I have to figure out something to do with what I have in the house. I don't have quinoa. I do have couscous. So maybe I'll make a couscous salad and top it with the cruciferous vegetables, yes. And this is, I made the pickle, so it's got a kick. I'm feeling it in my throat because I have scotch bonnet pepper in here, thyme, onions and vinegar. Whew. It's hot. So it's going to open my sinuses. Not that I need my sinuses open. Yes. Well, thank you guys for hanging with me. Whole Food is great. Whole Food used to be a place where I was in Florida. We had one that was like in the next town over. And whenever I was in the area, I would stop there. It would be my little treat to myself. And I would go to the salad bar. You know that salad bar Whole Food? OMG. And you get the plate, everything is weighed. And you go there and they say 25, 50. And you're like, what? Yeah, that's Whole Foods for you. Yeah, that is not a place that I regularly shop. I couldn't afford them, but you get what you pay for. They have quality. I was like in the middle. I was a Publix kind of a shopper. All right, guys, have a good night. Get plenty of rest tomorrow. You know, my party starts at 4, and they usually hang around till 7 or 8. They do line dancing and they do all kinds of stuff. So, all right. Good night. See you tomorrow or on Sunday. Oh, Saturday we're doing that. I'm going to drop that Zoom link. So whoever wants to join in the conversation about emotional health and relocation, whether you're just starting the process, whether you're thinking of retiring next year, in 2 years, you got to get your mind and your spirit ready, because you're going to go through it's a roller coaster. And then once you get here, it's another set of roller coaster. I've been here 3.5 years. I don't think my emotions get into it. You know, things change a little bit here. So I'm having to adapt. I don't miss anything that I've left. My family's there. But, you know, the adjustment to things, it is what it is. So you have to be ready for it so that when you come, you say, oh, yeah, the ladies talked about that. And then there is always strength in community, you know, when you realize that, you know, you're not the only one feeling like this. Oh, I guess I'm not crazy. And the sisters say, you know, I go around, I hug my house because she's starting to grieve her house that she built. And that's a lot. That's a lot of emotions, right? So you got to be prepared for it. She said, I've been crying a lot lately. Yes, you will do a lot of that too. So be ready. Because I always say, you're not a tree. We are not arborists. We're not trees. So, and you know, we are women. Women, we are emotional beings, right? We carry our feelings on our sleeves, and it affects our mood. And, you know, and you go through menopause in there. Woo! Mood swings, and you're crying one moment, the next moment you boo-hoo, you're crying, and then you go shopping, the next time you're crying, you're sad, and you spend more money, and you overeat. And listen, you got to be careful, all these emotions. If you don't say, okay, that's what's happening here, what do I need to do? Yeah, you have to have your little plan on how you're going to counteract all these emotions that are feeling like they're overwhelming you at some point, especially if you have a relationship issue with your decision to move, children, and you're grieving, you have grandkids, and oh my God, I'm not going to see them, and what are they going to think of me? You know, you're abandoning me, or listen. People are quick to make you feel like the bad guy, that you're running away. Some people feel like you're running away, and you're not sitting there and fight. Well, listen, there's a lot that goes into it. And you have to be sure where you stand so you don't fall prey to that. All right? So it's going to be Saturday at our old time, because that's what the most people said they would be able to do it. Saturday at 4 p.m. my time. So you need to see what your time would be. I know in the East Coast it would be 5. Yes, it's hard for most people, and even somebody who says, "Oh, I don't miss anything. I'm cool." I want to see how you're feeling when you're in that bed. You're waking up in, when you first move here, people will say, "Oh, I'm so tired. I slept for so many." Yes, because you're coming off an emotional high. Now you're just crashing and you spent. You're so tired, and everything that you worked for weeks and months. Now it's happening. It's like it's almost like when you have a baby. You know how you carry a baby and then the placenta comes out and then your mood changes. And that's why people go into postpartum depression. Okay. So these things are real and they're physiological. People come here and they say they sleep for like days, just healing, recuperating, and just because some people I haven't had a good night's sleep where I wasn't worried or stressed out or whatever for weeks and months. So now you're in a place where you can, right? And yes, take your time and sleep. And I tell people that. I say, when you first get here, don't be in a rush to go, I'm going to go see the house. I want to find your apartment. No. Get you an Airbnb where you're comfortable. Go downstairs, usually find a little shop and buy something. And you can order Uber Eat and hibernate for a few days. Just stay in the bed. Hopefully it's comfortable and just take care of you and recharge and recharge. Take a nice shower, maybe a massage, and just treat yourself. And then the apartment is there. You can go get to the apartment later. You don't have to rush at the same time you get here. So you're going to self-care here, and you have to self-care over there so you can make it here. Yes. A lot of favorite elders died in Panama. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. We are grieving something or someone, right? So, and that's why when I see people and I'm like, they may look good, they may smell good, they're running here and there, but when they sit, it can overwhelm you. So some people always try to get themselves busy so they don't sit long enough to think. I don't think that's healthy. You need to give yourself permission to think, to cry, to do what you need to do, because those are the things that are going to cleanse your soul and get you ready for the next chapter. And if you don't take the time to do that, that's what's not healthy, right? Pretending that everything is hunky-dory, not saying that, oh yeah, they call me this, call me that. Oh, it didn't affect me. Of course it does. Acknowledge that it hurt when they said that to you. But if you just, like I always say, you can talk about me, it doesn't bother me, right? But I say in the moment, when I know somebody did something or said something about me, it hurts in the moment. I'm not a tree. But I'm not going to, take it on and just go weeks and months moping around. Oh my God, she said I was this, she said I was that. No. No. Those are the coping skills you've developed over time. That somebody's opinion of you is just that, their opinion. Got nothing to do with you. Doesn't mean it doesn't affect you. It can affect you. Allow it to affect you for a short time, but don't wallow in it. Don't allow it to change you. That's what you don't want to do. All right, ladies, I will see you on Saturday, some of you, if not on Sunday. And if not, have a beautiful weekend. And God bless. All right. Thanks for hanging with me. I love you all. Bye.